T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Let's get ready to sucker!
I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of slime. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time, big time. That's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try and take it from me, from me, from me, from me, from me. Big time, number 9. Got it in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind.
And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, inside the gymnasium here at South Range High School. DJ Yoakley, Billy McCartney. We got Quinn behind the ones and twos. Paul is, for some reason, upstairs. Rob Mush is here as well, and Eric Bailey. So welcome, gentlemen.
What's up?
What's going on?
What to do?
What are you giggling at?
My niece is here, and if you look in the background, she's wearing like a Chinese doll mask.
Oscar.
Yeah, she's I don't know, she's something, man.
Paul, what are you doing? Grading papers?
No, I was trying to. We're going over corrections and fixing her papers so that she can get a good grade in math.
There you go. It is. What's the day, Quinn?
National Get to Know Your Customer Day.
National Get to Know Your Customer Day. So a lot of us have been in business for ourselves before. So what is the eye-opening time that you got to know your customer a little bit? We'll start with you, Mr. McCartney.
Well, I think it's always important to know your customer when you're especially in your business in general. Mine's a little easier because I deal with them every day. You know, my customers are the people to basically run the engine, at my business, and it's the athletes. So it's important for me to know how my athletes are doing emotionally, never mentally, because I drive them into the ground most of the time, and I'm always pushing them so hard. But they seem to just take it and get better from it. So, yeah. Next.
Quinn, how about you?
I mean, I've never really dealt with customers to an extent, I guess, but like doing those AAU tournaments with Eric, and I'm sure he can kind of agree on this one. When you do like player check-in, dealing with those people are a special breed, to say the least.
You're special.
Fair enough.
I am
EB?
special.
I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing to say you don't know your customers when the owner of the company is sitting literally right across from you. But I don't know. Like, I just got back from trips of getting to know our customers, from the AAU standpoint, what we do with some of these tournaments and state of play tournaments, traveling to Orlando, Louisville, getting to know, not only people on the hotel side, but commissions, CVBs, and just everyone that makes it. A lot of these people we deal with so much, they become pretty good friends. So you see them maybe once a year, but you get to know them pretty personally.
Paul, I'm more interested with you. We know you're a DJ, DJ Sandman Entertainment. I'm more interested in how you got to know your customers inside the study hall side of the business.
The kids, they're easy. Listen, they want chips, hot chips, candy bars, Pop-Tarts, and pop. That's all they need. But on the DJ part of it, like, you get to know your customers when you do these you have meetings with them. I meet with them at least twice before their wedding shows up. You think you get to know them then, but I'll tell you what, the day of their wedding, that's when you really get to know your customer, because they may have come off as a nice, sweet person, and you do these meetings and they're like, oh, it's going to be such a great day and I love it. It's going to be, yeah. Get them on the day of their wedding. See how batshit crazy they are and like going nuts. And now all of a sudden, like, everything just goes off the rails and you're like, listen, it'll be okay.
I've been told women are just crazy in general.
Next.
No, I'll tell you what. Listen, I actually had a groom. I had a groom that like his wife sat there. She sat there like this the entire time, like whatever. He had a book. He had everything like down to a T. Like, he was like, okay, we're gonna walk in and step at this place. And I mean, I was like, dude, like, no. He was the one that was like, he was Groomzilla. Like, he had everything so planned out. I'm like,
hey, groom, what music you want? Don't care.
Paul's had a couple that he's told me about that it's just down to the minute. This is what they want played. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to a wedding. They don't work like that. Like, they don't. It's basically, for all intents and purposes, because we have the WWE stuff going, it's a Royal Rumble. You just get from thing to thing, and you're just trying to get through it at one point. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, and I try to tell people, listen, like, all you need to do, the time frames are fluid. Like, just relax. It'll all be fine. We'll all get through it. You'll be good.
Rod, how do you get to know your customers?
My customers are, for the most part, pretty cool. I get along with them all. The cool thing about my business is I can actually weed out the douchebags, and it's a pretty easy process, because if I show up and either one, your house is horrible to be in, period, or two, I can tell that we're going to have problems. I take the price and I jack it up so high that I think there's no way you're going to pay for it, and then I just take myself out of the equation. Now, there's been times where that's blown up in my face, where I've sat there and like, I can't believe they're going to be willing to pay this much, and I'm shooting myself in the foot now. But for the most part, my customers are all cool as hell, and I hardly ever have to deal with any bad parts. So I'm very grateful.
For your business, by the way.
What's that?
Free plug for your business. Go right ahead.
RGM, Painting and Remodeling on Facebook, word of mouth. I don't do any other advertising. Stay busy. That's how you do it.
You don't do any other advertising yet.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
From our standpoint, customers of YSN, I mean, it's easy. It's the people, right? The people that, sometimes they give us a hard time about a camera angle, or you can't hear the announcers, or the announcers say something they're not supposed to, or they don't like. Listen, it happens. When you broadcast 2,000 games a year, there's going to be something said that somebody doesn't like. That's just how it is. I wish it could be the happy-go-lucky, like all the time. We please everybody, but I think we've come to a point in our society where that's just not going to happen. You're always going to make somebody upset. So I love our fans. YS Nation is where it's at. I couldn't thank everybody enough. But yeah, our sponsors who keep this thing going are fantastic. Now we're going to see how good our fans are coming up next week, because everything goes to $9.99 for football. So we'll see how complimentary they are after having to divvy out $10 for a ticket. But I do it
on the emails.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I'll have to. There are going to be lots of Pepto-Bismol in my future coming forward. So let's get to the Would You Rather, brought to you by our friends at Baird Brothers. Rob, you're on a roll. What do you got today?
All right, this is a good one, depending on who you are. All right, so would you rather give up alcohol but still have control of your remote control, or still be able to drink, but either your significant other or your mother gets to control the remote for you?
For TV?
Yeah. Your remote control for your television viewing purposes in your house.
I mean, I can live without alcohol. I can't live without control of the television, because if I got to watch one more Daniel Tiger, I'm going to do something really bad.
So what do I do in the preschool?
Did you something about my mother?
Well, I don't know if does everybody else have a significant other on the show?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
All right, then the remote control goes to your mother then.
I'll give up booze. I'm keeping the remote 100%. Listen, I didn't want to watch something last night. I sat at the kitchen table and ate my dinner by myself and watched stuff on my phone.
I'm picturing Paul getting kicked out of the living room right now.
No, I didn't get kicked out. Like, I was invited to sit and watch it, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this. So I went in the kitchen, warmed up my dinner, and I sat there and I actually watched the coach's corner on my phone, and I had that, and I checked on the Braves game. I didn't
watch the Braves game?
I didn't watch it until it was in the 8th inning, and they were up 6-2, and then they hit the home run to go up 9-2. So I watched from the 8th inning on.
So your thing yesterday is completely kaput then.
Well, they were winning, and I'm thinking to myself, they can't screw this up. They only got like 4 more outs, and then they hit the home run to go up 9-2. And now I'm like, yeah, I'm fully invested now. I can watch all this. If they screw this up, I am done.
You get to go be an Indians fan.
Yeah.
Gladiators.
Guardians.
Whatever.
It's all
the same.
It's all the same.
They're all stupid. It's all the same.
Stink.
Gladiators would have been
The arena football team. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, never mind. All right. What about you?
I'm not watching The Bachelorette or whatever that stupid show is. I mean, Kate will tell you, but I mean, I'm lucky. Kate just says, "Here you go. Here's the remote." I mean, really, all the situation. The only time Tuesday night I got kicked out of the room because that show was on, which was okay because I just went and watched baseball.
How many TVs do you guys have in your house? I should say monitors, because TV's a thing of the past.
Listen, I got an iPad that I carry around on a tripod. So like wherever I got Peacock and Netflix and all the apps on it. So like I'm mobile.
So we have 6.
8.
Carry that around. Probably
we got 8,
something like that.
How we have 8?
I have 15 that I can count.
Hey, how do we have 8?
I mean, I guess I can count like the laptops and everything too, but the 8 I use.
I got 12.
Quinn's got like 85 inches.
But yeah.
I only have 5.
I've got a couple 85-inch TVs.
Daddy, how do we have 8?
60 and a 40 on each side.
He's got a projector, 85, couple 85.
Kate says, we only have 4, Trumbull County math.
I know you got at least one because I hung it.
Yeah. I don't know what she's talking about. Mooney math that she
Paul, can I get another delivery of a drink down here, please?
This isn't a delivery service.
DoorDash.
That's the next thing.
It's going to be an extra $1, Quinn.
You mean you're not on DoorDash yet?
I'll put it on my tab.
Ranger runners. The Raider runners. Your daughter could probably make a lot of money doing that, Paul. Raider runners.
Charge an extra $1.
50 cents, man. 50
No,
cents a
dollar. 50 cents goes back to you.
Well, I wasn't. I don't think I was going to pay the runners. I was going to charge the person who's getting the food an extra $1. Kids get to leave my room. They get to leave study hall for.
I put a roof over their head.
What's your thing, EB? I mean, you haven't got the would you rather yet. What do you think?
Dude, that's tough. I feel like if I drank and I had to watch what my mom watched, it'd be probably like HGTV and QVC. So I might have to give up drinking, or I'd have to drink heavily just to make it through it. So whichever six one way, half a dozen another. I'd probably give it up just so I could watch sports.
You?
Yeah, just give me the remote. I can live with everything else.
Somebody's gonna have to educate me on QVC. I've watched it probably a handful. Just like,
isn't that like the infomercial channel?
It's not an infomercial.
It's like they sell stuff.
It's like Amazon before Amazon.
Yeah, my grandma used to watch that when I was a kid. They used to stay up till her and her friend would. I swear it looked like they were having a bachelorette party. They stayed up like 4 in the morning watching that crap.
It's like a version of like, what is it, the Home Shopping Network or something like that? Like,
well, that's what it is.
Yeah, essentially.
Well, like they count how many they have to sell, and then they're selling like hotcakes. Like,
they get like special deals, like they get like end user deals, or
graphics can't even keep up. Like it's incredible. They go from like they have 8,000, and then they'll sell out in 8 minutes.
Well, of course. Did you see those fake ruby bracelets? How could you not have one of those? Especially at 3 in the morning.
Who's buying ruby bracelets at 3 in the morning? That's what I want to know.
My Italian grandmother. She's the same one that hung out the door every time the neighbor was cutting the grass and said, "Yoo-hoo, you want to cut mine for free?" She was crazy.
Got this emerald necklace to match.
She literally called 911 for a cigarette one time. We'll tell that story later on, but it was hilarious.
Kate says that's where you got the Traegers, QVC. Truth?
Get it.
I feel like QVC is for the people who can't figure out Amazon.
It's for old people.
QVC's got like really good deals though. No lie.
Really?
No cap. Yeah.
Like, hey, we still have the rotary phone. Let's watch QVC too.
So like my Traeger is probably around $1,100 on Amazon right now, and I got it on QVC for about $5.99.
I still don't see the big deal. I mean, that's just me. I've never seen the big deal in these Traegers. The George Foreman grill, I'm in. 100% in.
Well, if you're not like a big smoker, then I mean, I understand. But like, you can be used as both. You can use it as an extra oven or smoker, or are you going to grill for that matter?
They're selling, and I can't believe that I know this. They're selling ovens that double as air fryers and smoker, like all this stuff. And I'm like, this is
I guess you got to be into like cooking, like into it, like not just like, yeah, I can cook. It's like if you're into it, like you would, especially if you're a guy and you like smoked meat, then that's something that you want.
Nope. I'm good.
Only if it's smoked.
Also, by the way, tonight we get ribs. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Donnie Farron cooked ribs specifically because he said he's a better cook than you are.
Listen,
that's not hard to do.
So I screw up ribs one effing time. Okay.
This is
you're about to lose.
Not our
Me.
fault.
I'm about to get kicked off the show right now.
No, because then I have to kick him off too because you're in the same camera.
I'm about to flip this table, RKO everybody, light him up, knock him down.
I mean, I'm just excited for the ribs. I'm excited for prime time tonight, and I'm really excited, guys, for Joe Idol tonight, 6:30, right here on YSN. Big get for us here at the network. The guru of high school football in the Buckeye State sat down with Steve Leslie last night. Quinn was doing the ones and twos, as he usually does. I'm excited to hear what he had to say. Quinn, is there anything that you can give away without giving the whole thing away, the whole interview? And it's a 27-minute interview.
Yeah, 27-minute interview. It was interesting. It's like he kind of just went over day-to-day basis of what he does, how he gets what he gets, and he admitted that he watches us. It's pretty cool.
Joe Idol watches YSS.
He's watched us to get scores and just different things play in our area.
Did he give away the equation?
Partially, yes. But the equation is in a word form on the website also.
Yeah, I know, but like hooked on phonics didn't work.
Yes, he explains his
All right,
formula.
there we go.
Yes.
Did he talk about any local teams?
All of the Ysn teams that are making it.
No kidding. Very cool. And obviously, I think Steve said you guys talked a little bit about Wyndham. They opt out or no?
I believe a little bit, touched on it a little bit.
It's all interesting. And did I hear right that he works for OHSAA?
Yeah, OSHA gave him the complete control of the playoffs.
Wow.
Well,
so pretty much when we go to his site, that is what is.
That's what it is. Yes.
So you know what that means, Paul. When we go on Friday,
and he talks about it, he explains it.
We're good to go.
I guess
Saturday.
did it when you've done it as long as he has.
Since
I mean,
2000.
He was. I was going to say he was around when I was in high school doing it.
Since 2000, yeah.
And he's done it better.
That's when
he
graduated Ohio State in 2000, and ever since then, he's been doing
Ohio State University.
Whatever.
We're gonna
you say like you went there.
I did go there. I went to a party once.
Pretty much got his degree right there.
I did.
I went back for my master's.
Masters in beer pong and flip cup. Woke up with my shoes on and nothing on my face.
But nonetheless, that will be on the network tonight, 6:30. You'll be able to catch it on our YouTube channel as well as on ysnlive.com. We'll have an entire post dedicated to it. You'll be able to watch it then. It's going to be a premiere at 6:30. So make sure you tune in. You get onto the site early and often, and you'll be able to, after the show, you'll be able to get it too. So if you're busy at 6:30.
Will it be on Twitch? Because I'm a Twitch guy. I just watch YSN on Twitch.
No.
Well, how am I going to watch it?
I guess you're going to have
to one of the other 7 platforms that we use.
I only have Twitch downloaded on my phone.
That's a lie.
That's too bad.
You don't have Facebook on your phone right now?
I just deleted it.
No, he's got TikTok now.
I do. I got TikTok now.
We're not on TikTok yet. Thank God.
I don't know if you could post a 27-minute video on TikTok.
But we're excited for that. And of course, we're excited for tomorrow because, guys, we have a ton of games that have consequence here on the network. But the one thing that I want to talk about today is these OHSA meetings, kind of like the spring meetings that they have for baseball. They start changing the rules. One rule in particular, EB brought to our attention in the group chat was in basketball this year, in the second half, if you're up by 35, running clock. And they said they've done that in tournaments. I haven't seen it because I haven't had a game that was that bad. But my main question is this good for basketball or is this bad for high school basketball? And remember, it's high school basketball. This is not collegiate basketball. EB, since you brought it up, we'll start with you.
I mean, I can make an argument both ways. I'm not sure if it's good. I'm not sure if it's bad yet. You know, I'm just being honest. I haven't put too much thought into it. And, you know, everyone was kind of, when they did it with football, everyone was kind of, I guess they had an opinion on it. And now people kind of like it because it just keeps things moving. I think so far in basketball, it's not a bad thing because if you're up 35 or you're up that much, and we'll say even by halftime to where the whole second half is just kind of a running clock, I get that's where a lot of your twos, your threes, you know, you go deeper into your bench. But, you know, stopping the clock at every little thing, you can really prolong the game. And I don't think situation basketball really comes into play because then it just kind of becomes sloppy. And at that point, I think both coaches are just like, hey, put me out of my misery. You're just waiting for it to get over. I don't know if it's good or bad yet. And I'm going to keep it at that until we kind of see it or see how it goes this year. I mean, it works. You do it in club, and it doesn't really affect too much. You do it in other things outside of high school basketball. So a lot of these kids are used to it. I don't think it's really going to affect as much as people think. It just keeps the game moving, and really it just keeps a flow to it. And I think in a sense, I'm not sure if it's going to prevent injuries or whatnot, but at least if you're up 35 and early in the third quarter, then you're going to get your kids in. They're still going to get reps, and it's just going to move along a lot quicker. I don't really know too much. I'm probably leaning towards I'm more of a fan of it, but I think that's just because I'm coming more from the AAU world, and where you kind of we have a 15 or 20 point mercy, and people don't realize how. Okay, yeah. So people don't realize to get to 35 points that's a blowout. We consider 20 a blowout. 35 points is you're getting worked pretty good.
So let me ask this: in football, if you go up, was it 30 or 35? I can't remember.
30.
30. Okay, you go up 30, the clock starts running, but all of a sudden the team kicks a field goal and you're down 27 and the clock stops. Is that going to be the same way in basketball, where you're going to have to constantly flip back and forth between this rule and not?
If they're going to make that rule, I would assume it has to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't read too much into it. I feel like I read somewhere if you get up 35, they have the clock continues to run until they get it below 30. But don't quote me on that. I could be completely wrong. But if it's based or if it's set up like football, then yeah. I mean, if you get 36, it's running clock. But if they score a layup, then clock stops. But it's only on free throws and, it'd be any dead ball situation. So I'm not sure. I'd probably have to go to the website and read. But I thought I read somewhere if you get up 35, the clock continues to run until the team that is down gets it under 30.
That's how it was before when they had that rule in, where you get to a mark for a running clock, but then it's got to you can get below it again, and it will continue to run, and then if you get to a certain number. So yeah, if it was 30 last year, then if you got to 30, you were good. But if they got it to 20, then the clock would stop again. So. I mean, listen, again, if you're up by 35 on somebody, everybody wants the game to be over. Everybody's ready to go home. So let the clock run and the killing that's going on, and let's just move on to the next game, because I think 35 is high. I think it should be lower if you ask me.
I think it is high too.
I really, because here's the thing is think about the math that people are going to have to do during the course of a game on 35. You know what I mean? And they're going to have to do it quick, because once you get up by 35, are the referees going to stop the game and say running clock? Or
no, I think they're gonna see that, okay, this team's getting smashed at halftime. They're gonna come out after halftime, because they've done that before. They did it in the playoffs. I remember sitting at the table. They come over and say, listen, if this gets to a certain mark, the clock's just gonna keep running. Don't stop the clock. So now it's all on that person running the scoreboard to pay attention that if this team gets up by a certain number, you let it go. The officials are just going to keep going. And it was funny because you'd see it happen, and there's fans in there going, stop the clock. What's going on? What are you doing? And then you got to get on the PA and say, due to OHSA rules, if a team is up by a certain amount, we have a running clock, which blows my mind, because we've had running clocks in football for a couple of years now. How are people not remembering that that's what goes on if you move over to a different sport? So
here's my point, and I don't know the answer, and I'm not a math guy. So somebody's going to be able to get this pretty quick. But if it's 27-18 at halftime and the team with 18 doesn't score, how many points they need to score to get the running clock?
21.
It's 35, isn't it?
If you're going to 35.
I wasn't paying attention.
They're down by
26.
Actually, it'd be 26. Yeah, if you're going to 35.
Do you see my point, though? So the scorer who has enough to do.
So it's literally the announcers, the statisticians, the referees, everybody has to work together to be on the same page to be able to call that game.
Good luck.
I would imagine I could just see it now, like a referee running down court. Start it. Don't stop.
That's you.
Just go. My take on this
I think between the coaches and everyone, though, you all kind of know, hey, if I'm down 35, keep it going, please.
We're going to see a couple of these from some of those coaches that aren't quite down 35 yet.
Yeah.
My take.
I mean, I can't imagine it being that big of a deal anyways if you're dealing with a basketball game. I mean, think about the NBA, college, even high school. If you're a mediocre fan, it drives you nuts at the end of the games. The end of the games, it takes a good, 25 minutes? There could be 2 minutes left, and you're still at that game for a half an hour. So what the hell is so funny?
Billy,
In the middle of your
Billy
Billy
just
Quinn.
warmed up.
It's Rob's show.
What do you say?
Go ahead. Billy, you have the floor. Welcome back.
Did I interrupt him?
No.
No.
What the hell is he doing?
You ready? Come on, give your take.
Good.
Give your take.
Forgot it.
You forgot your take?
Forgot it.
Angry Billy is the best Billy.
Yeah, what's
I'm
wrong with you? You all right today?
Yeah, I'm good.
Angry. Is it the weather?
It's raining.
It's very hostile, aren't you?
I just want some ribs.
Yeah, some good ones finally.
Slide on this way.
What's up?
How are you?
Catch me outside. How about that?
It's raining outside.
Billy's going to go next door on the other side of that curtain and get a basketball and just come around the corner and just whale you with it.
That wouldn't be the
I'll
weapon
take my
of choice.
chances.
I'm gonna go over
I'll
there.
take my
I'm
chance
gonna
with
go
the
over there. Hey,
basketball.
girls, we're now playing dodgeball, and the guy in the green sweater,
Go get the
That's-
guy that looks like
Great, I'm not wearing green.
like
gray.
Johnny Manziel's ugly brother. Let's go to a break, and then let's come back and regroup about this. I'm interested of why and why this rule is going into effect. I don't remember that many blowouts by 35 points, but I could be wrong. We'll find out when we come back on the Ysn Power Hour right after this.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, shop with confidence knowing we're ready to go the extra mile for you. With the largest selection of used vehicles in the Valley, backed by the Greenwood Advantage Warranty. Every one of our vehicles has undergone our own 126-point inspection, so it passes the most important inspection, yours. No other dealership has the extra inventory, gives you extra for your trade, and goes the extra mile for you. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the four words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Oh, baby. Look what the cat drug in, boys. This is Donnie Farron's ribs that he promised us after the rib debauchery of 2021.
It wasn't that bad. It was just really dry.
Oh, look at him. Look at him now.
They were just really dry, like the desert. It's okay.
I threatened his life during the break.
This is true. This is
Felt like I was eating sand,
story.
so it's okay.
Unbelievable. Donnie Farron hooking us up with these beautiful. Look at this. What is it? 3 racks?
We got a rack for each of us since Paul decided to stay upstairs.
But you're gonna get thirsty with no pop or.
I got a water. I'm good.
Oh,
I know where his room is.
It's about a rack.
That's a rack?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take it though. I mean, look how juicy those are.
They look good.
Oh, Paul left.
They
Paul
smell
sliding.
good.
You can hear Paul coming because he slid off in his chair.
So good.
I don't know how he's gonna get downstairs in that chair, but whatever.
You're gonna hear.
You got a picnic basket?
Before the break, we talked about the new rule by the OHSAA, 35 points.
Paul, we need a water down here, please.
Gets the clock, or I got water. Were there that many blowouts last year?
If you were watching Struthers High School boys play, almost every game showed up, they were blowing people out of the water every night. I mean, they were undefeated, for Christ's sake.
Did they play Cheney?
Oh.
I believe so.
They
I'm
did?
almost positive they did.
I believe they did play Cheney.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think it was the playoffs.
I believe it was the playoffs. Regular season, they went undefeated. They were blowing people out of the water left and right.
They didn't play in the playoffs because they
well, it would have been their district.
No,
I'm pretty sure they played Cheney in the playoffs.
Yeah, because the
but
winner of that ran into St. V, and
Yeah, in fact, that's what it was.
Lost in
They beat Cheney, and then they played St. Vincent St. Mary and got smoked.
both lost in the regionals.
Yeah, because Quinn and I remember
Oh,
Quinn
yeah,
and I watched
that
it
third
coming
game.
back from watching McDonald.
That was the Chardon game that we saw, but Bailey.
Oh, okay. I just remember.
they
Hello
did.
from Masswin.
Yes.
That's,
I'm looking at it right now. Struthers did not play Cheney last
It's never good when the punchline doesn't even hit hard.
Brandon McPherson saying Western Reserve had a few games last year, 30 to 35 plus. So, and this is for girls too. Let's not forget. This is for boys and girls sports, basketball. So
I think you'd see it more on the girls' side.
I think you will.
And I think you're going to see a lot more like JV. Like JV is going to be.
Yes, you will. I promise.
I don't like it in JV. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like it at all. And for the same reason, EB, that you talked about, and you know you're going to get this, is coaches are going to say our kids are losing reps because the clock's always running. JV especially, I think this rule should be taken away from, because JV it's important to get those reps on the floor.
So
you don't want to speed that up.
At JV, you're saying you're going to lose reps?
I mean, you do, but
once the clock goes.
I mean, some of these places man. Oh, shut up, Mac.
It's already too much to watch the end of a basketball game. Like I was saying before, Billy went on his little tirade. You can start at the NBA, go to the college, go to high school. At the end of a basketball game, it is gut-wrenching to finally get to triple zeros. Everybody knows that. So if you could get a team that's playing another team and they're up by 35 or 30 or whatever the point spread is, or I don't care. If that clock is still running, I don't care about any reps. You're up by 35 points. That should not matter whatsoever. Get that game over with and get them the hell out of the stadium or the gymnasium.
I don't know.
That's a little harsh.
Yeah, I'm a little bit torn on this one. Do I like it because the games will be? I mean, the games that were blowouts anyway will be a little bit less of a blowout, I guess. You know what I mean? Because if you're up by 35, there's a good chance you'd be up by 50 if that clock was not running. But at the same time,
I don't think it matters.
Why is that?
I just don't think it matters. Like you're up at 35, like you're making substitutions anyway. So what's on both sides? So what does it really matter? You know, you're bringing in those JV guys to come in on both sides. You know, you're basically tapping on one hand. On both sides, you're tapping on anyway.
I'm saying from a JV standpoint, you don't have unlimited JVs. Like there's something like in varsity you can make the substitutions for those JV kids. In JVs, what are you going to do? Start picking people out of the crowd.
Run the clock.
Bringing up the 8th graders.
Quinn?
Nah, I've been on that side of getting my ass kicked a couple times. Keep it running. Get that thing moving.
And again, I think 35 is too high. I think it should be a little lower to like start getting it going. I wouldn't mind it being 25.
I mean, yeah. Like, has there ever been a game, Coach Quinn, that you were down 25 and came back and won?
No.
Okay, so
not in high school.
So that seems like a pretty good number to start at.
I think so.
Make it even 30, like you guys were talking, like DJ was talking about earlier. The math. 30 points, bam, you're done. You can think about that in seconds. You guys have 5 points. I don't care who you are. You're going to have to take a couple minutes to figure all that stuff out. Yeah. Especially if you're talking to statisticians, the refs, people keeping score, stuff like that.
It's going to take longer for some of these statisticians to figure out 35 points. If you're up by 35 points, then there is in the rest of the game.
Maybe we just do like baseball and just call it right there. You're up by 30. It's over. Done. Get off the field. Yeah, I mean every sport has one now.
I mean,
not the basketball.
You figure that's
well, they do because they run a running clock. It's the same concept. I mean, the game isn't over right there, but like now every sport has one, has their version of it.
That'd be what 35 is. What best case scenario is 12 possessions, assuming you stop them every time.
I want to know what the largest comeback is
every time
in the state of Ohio.
I'm an advocate for this, and I've been an advocate for this for a long time. Is the 30 points once you're up 30. The clock doesn't. I don't care if you get down by 7. The clock doesn't stop. Once you touch that, the clock goes, and the coaches lose their timeout.
If you're down by 30, it's probably going to take you the entire game just to come back at a high school level.
But that's what I'm saying. Is I hate this dancing around it. I mean, how many games have we seen from Paul, from South Range's standpoint alone, that they've been dancing around this? 30 points. They get 30, and then the team scores, and then the clock starts stopping again. I like if you get up by 30, the clock's gonna roll, and that's how it goes the rest of the way.
And now it's cool because like now you can get out of that stupid hold the ball at half court and don't do anything with it offense.
How do you get out of that?
You don't have to. You can just score. What does it matter if you're up by 30? You don't have to hold the ball now. You can just run your offense. Clock's not stopping anyway.
The people that hold the ball are usually the ones that are trying to hold that.
How often does the clock stop in basketball, if we're being honest?
Every dead ball. Every time it goes on the bounce.
All the time. Every time. Clock is always stopped.
A foul.
Every time a whistle is blown, the clock is going to stop.
Yeah, it's a lot. Probably more. Probably more than you think. More than football.
So that's probably why
way more than football.
That's why they put it so high, is because it stops so much. Because I was sitting there thinking, okay, every time the ball is in play, and I know that's duh, but like every time the ball is like the clock's going, unlike football necessarily, like the ball can be spotted up and actions can be happening, but the clock is stopped. I'm confusing myself.
It stops a lot. Just yeah.
So I mean, in basketball, we're looking at an hour-long game, right? For the most part.
Typically, yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're looking at a 45-minute game.
And that's assuming
so
you're at halftime.
And at the end of the game, like we were talking about, the clock stops so many times, 2 minutes turns into a 40-minute ending.
Yeah.
In all kinds of basketball.
That's true.
Well, that'll happen anyway, even with that, because of if it's not a 35-point game, that's going to happen.
And if you're waiting till 35 to put your JVs in,
shame on you.
Yeah.
That's my argument with it is like if you're up 35, we'll say in the second quarter because it's happened. Heck, I'm sure we could call Jeff Brazil and he's been up 35 multiple times going into halftime. If you're waiting until the second half or the fourth quarter or the last 4 minutes to put in your JVs or I guess the bottom part of your bench, and your argument is, well, you're taking away reps from them. No, you're actually the coach is taking away reps from them because if you have the game that in hand, they should have been in second quarter. You should have been mixing them in well before that point.
I think you're going to comment on this comment.
The King Kong of all arguments. It will cut down on 1,000-point scorers. That is going to cause a problem.
So what?
But it really won't at the end of the day. Like if you're that good,
you're going to get the same points. Guy 2 days ago talking about playing week 11, week 12, and rushing records.
But think about it from a standpoint of parents and that are up.
They're up by 35. They're already getting their points.
Yeah,
their points are there.
I don't see an issue.
It's the other team. It's the other team that's not gonna. Because if you isolate one good player and they're not getting their point, and they don't get full games now to maximize that opportunity.
So you're saying that the losing team has a stud on their team, and now they're not going to get to score points?
I've never seen 1,000-point score down by 35 points in my life for any team.
I have.
You want to bet? I can.
I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I'm saying I personally, when you talk about 1,000-point score on any team, regardless for the school, that program is usually doing pretty decent, right or wrong.
You can call Nasia Fryer from Niles.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
I watched South Range triple team her, and she still dropped 26. I mean, she was pretty damn good. But
what about John Berdovich from East Palestine?
Yeah, I mean, you can the 1,000 points not going to be affected by the running clock. You see more 1,000-point scores because they got 2 extra games.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, I don't think the clock's going to affect that much because, again, if you're the team that's up, like guys have already said, those players are going to get those points. And if you're a team that's down, it's not like every single night that team's going to get beat by 35 points where the clock's always running. They might just ran into a buzzsaw that night, and okay, that girl may only scored 12 points that night. The next night she's going to play a team that's probably, the same caliber as them, and she's going to get 25, 30 points. So,
but if you're a freshman or sophomore and you're averaging 15 points a game, right? You're on a really bad team the first 2 years, but the second 2 years, your junior and your senior years, you guys are really good. Trying to get to that 1,000-point threshold, which is now we talked about it last year. That is like the standard. That's it. Like that's how you know that you made it in this area. Is scoring 1,000 points for your school. If you do that now, how many freshmen and sophomores are not going to see the floor or going to see limited time because of this? I guess that's a question.
I mean, if you're at a good program anyway, you're probably not going to see the court until you're junior anyway.
But if you're not at a good program,
well. You're guaranteed 23 games, and I think now to get 1,000 points, you need to average just over 10 points a game to obtain 1,000 points.
Just under 11.
So it's what,
10
like 10
for your career?
Yeah, 10 points for your career because you're guaranteed 92 games in your career.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Good points on both sides. I can see where this is going to be a thorn in the side, and I'm with you, EB. I really feel like coaches are going to be frustrated with this, and maybe they should be, maybe they shouldn't be, but it's going to affect the younger players first, and most immediately.
I think coaches are only going to be mad when it's against them.
Yeah,
of course.
They're getting the clock ran on. That's when they're going to get mad.
But
if you're up 35, they're not going to care.
But you just said that if you're down 35, you're like, okay, we're trying to get out of here.
Because I'm realistic and I'm a JV basketball coach. I'm saying, let's go.
It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be different strokes for different folks. I really do.
And to one of our commenters on there, Irish man, tune in tomorrow. You'll find out exactly who's picking what team. He's trying to get out of us early. Who's picking a game for tomorrow? Tune in tomorrow at 3:00.
Yeah, we do it all on Fridays, and we pick the Saturday games too. So tomorrow's when we show our cards, so to speak. But if you're really interested, you can tune in tonight at 5:00 here on the prime time from South Range Gymnasium because it's pouring outside. And we're gonna have some good content tonight. We're gonna talk about obviously all the games.
There'll be some picks tonight. Some like Steve and Donnie will pick tonight.
And I think Romo is making an appearance as well, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be interesting.
I've seen Romo once.
The ribs will be gone before primetime starts.
Toast.
Yeah.
By the way,
you're just going to see
I
it.
Just keep staring at him. So
you're going to see a chubby bald kid with barbecue sauce all over his face at 5:00.
And I do have one programming note for tomorrow. The Beaver Local Wheeling Central Catholic game is a start time of 7:30, not 7:00.
Thank you, Bob Beam, for that. Appreciate it. Did he text you too?
Yeah, because I asked him for his basketball schedules. So
nice, very nice. And then of course tonight again, 6:30, you'll be able to watch Joe Idle sit down with Steve Leslie and Quinn Pushkar, and talk about the lineup. I really hope people get behind this because this is something that doesn't happen that often. I'm really excited for it. Quinn, you were big behind it. Matt and Steve and everybody, and big ups to you guys. I mean, that's huge. That's huge. The guy he's very introverted, and most people that deal with numbers like he does usually are. For him to not only come on to our show, spend a half hour with us and kind of, let us into his world, but also let the cat out of the bag that he watches YSN. I'm a happy camper today, boys. I'm a happy camper. I'm excited. So hopefully you are too, and you check in. And I know there's going to be a lot of people watching because, again, this doesn't happen very often. This is one of those interviews with El Presidente that you're going to want to tune in for, and especially if you love high school football here in the Buckeye State. It's 3:50. We could do an extended version of our friends from Joe Dickey. What's your spark? Hit it, Quinn. The Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark, brought to you by our friends at Joe Dickey Electric. Visit them on the web at dickieelectric.com. Anything commercial, residential, anything electrical, head over to the official electric sponsor of YSN, Joe Dickey Electric. Who wants to start it off today? Who's got a good one?
I'll go first. It's a positive spark. Last night, the Raiders soccer team for the boys opened up tournament play, and Cam Thomas became the all-time leading scorer and assist leader for a single season last night in the game when they beat Camel. So congratulations to him on becoming their single season scorer and assist leader last night in the game. So good accomplishment for him, and they're moving on in the playoffs. So it was a good positive score
last night. 14-0. Isn't that what it was?
Yeah, 14-0.
2 tutties.
Wow. That's a lot of goals in soccer, baby. That's a lot of goals.
Yeah, the running clock was in effect in the second half for sure.
Because soccer is a running clock the whole time.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
No. After a goal is scored, it stopped, and they'll stop it sometimes for subs. But
times 14 goals, that's like an hour and a half.
Yeah. So after you get up by 6, it doesn't matter what happens unless somebody collapses on the field. The clock will not stop no matter what.
Heaven forbid, by the way. Heaven forbid. Rob, what is your spark today, my friend?
This is for all the people that decide to start shouting it up at the cashiers in front of me. I'm going to give you a little insider's information. They do not care about you. They do not care about your cat. They don't care about your cat's addiction to catnip. They don't care that your cat can't find a stupid bed at stupid Belmont Pines. They don't care. Get you and your sorry-ass story out the front door with that and quit holding up the line for God's sake. Thank you.
My favorite part is a spider behind Rob right now, actually.
Yeah.
Just happy he said thank you.
Oh my God! It's like seriously. I've been listening to this story for 7 minutes. I'm ready to seriously shoot myself in your face with your gun. Shut up. Take your change and go out of the front door with that. We can't. I'm literally watching you like this, lady. If you say another sentence about this stupid cat, infuriating.
Woo. Feel better?
No, because I know I'm going to run into it tomorrow too. It happens almost every day. When I hear them start talking, here's me. Oh my God! They're like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "You didn't get what? You didn't hear Margaret start to tell the story again? Here we go. What drug agency is going to help us out today? Because it sure is not going to be the cops trying to get her out of the line." No, I go through this every day because I'm constantly in and out of Ace, Lowe's, or Home Depot, and it's people are sort of like, "Oh, these self checkouts are taking everybody's jobs." You know what? I don't care. I don't have to deal with Lucille and her stupid striped cat from Indiana that she adopted on the highway because somebody threw it out the exit 2 miles ago. I don't care. So I don't have to listen to those stories. I'm going to self checkout line by myself. Good for me. I don't care who loses their job now because I don't have to listen to those dumb stories. If I hear one more story about an adopted cat, I swear to God. Anyways.
This message
by the way, it's a negative spark.
ASPCA.
Yeah.
Today on WFMJ, Dr. Phil.
Yeah. The Gingers, man, they get fired up.
EB, what do you have?
Nothing as good as Rob's. I promise. Catch up on a couple positive spark. Huge shout out Abby Perry for setting the assist goals or the assist in soccer for Salem girls. I believe that was Monday. And then two negative sparks. One, Southwest, get your SHIT together because these delays were astronomical this week. And dude, I'm super jealous of you guys. Those ribs look phenomenal.
Yeah, they do.
Q.
Zoom in on those ribs real quick for a couple seconds there. Just let everybody see.
The weather's really nice outside.
Negative spark, Billy McCartney. That's all I got. I got nothing else.
Hey, there's a Steve in the background.
There is a Steve back here.
Can we get a wave, Steve?
There's a Steve right there.
What do you got?
I don't know if it's a positive or negative, but I recently found TikTok last night for the first time ever, and I went to bed at 5:30.
It's addicting.
That's why he's angry.
Down the rabbit hole.
Found it.
Between TikTok and QVC, Billy's just done.
I'm going to go a positive spark. It's week 10, my favorite week of the football season. We're here at South Range, which many people know is like a second home for me. So excited to be here, excited to talk. I think there's going to be some heated conversation tonight at 5 o'clock about this game and several others. Double prime time this week. We got prime time tonight at 5 o'clock, and then on Saturday at 5 o'clock from Salem High School. So make sure you tune in for that. And of course, at 6:30 tonight, make sure you tune in for the exclusive interview with Steve Leslie, Quinn Pushkar, and Joe Idle on ysnlive.com. For all these guys, whether they're angry or not, we bid you adieu from South Range High School. Make sure you stick around. 5 o'clock prime time coming up in just a little bit. See ya.